Go back to that later.
Anti-women.
Is that Ajax?
Like, no guy is saying, oh, you can't play online today because you're a woman.
I don't think it's anti-women, but I think there's just a lot more shit they have to deal with.
Wait.
Fighting and shooting their way. It's a way of our society saying it's okay to shoot.
Well, what you are probably wondering is it turning their brains to mush?
Thank you for always providing great content.
Professional, competitive video gaming. Players who play 10 or 12 hours a day to become the best of the world.
Did you get your YouTube stick?
Not yet.
Love the stream.
I'll be over next today.
My name is Austin Nitu. I'm 20 years old and I play Fortnite professionally. I won the first really big Fortnite tournament. It set the speed for the rest of the scene.
My name is Benita Novshadian. I'm 27 years old. My favorite part about gaming is literally just
CSGO.
winning. I'm a very competitive person.
Benita just 4K'd us.
My name is Hugo. I am 33 and I play Super Smash Brothers for Dignitas.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
So I just played as a kid and I just had a ton of fun with it, but I always wanted to be better than other people at it.
I'm Ariana Gamboa. I'm 19 years old and I play Halo competitively. It is my passion and girls can also.
Oh, that's RuneScape though.
One misconception is how much work people actually put in.
Now,
there's a lot that goes into
make
it.
me come get me high.
Hey, Dan.
A lot of people, have
You look like Ajax.
playing games, doing nothing with his life. Rather, it can be quite a healthy outlet, and people really build futures out of gaming.
Okay. The fuck are those boots, dude? Fucking space shit. What?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you give me a second to think about this? This is like, okay.
Energy drinks are fine, man.
I only like energy drinks with alcohol.
Does that affect your gameplay?
Well, I don't drink when I'm playing.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
I was like, it's probably.
I definitely acknowledge the health risk that some energy drinks have, but for me, I mean, sometimes I'm playing in 4-hour sessions, just nonstop, having to play at the top of my game, and it helps out a lot.
I hella need it.
4 hours?
And for the purpose of actually performing, I think it's great. I don't drink it at all on my off time.
Fucking
because
noob.
I felt like I was using it as a crutch. Oh, I don't have my energy, I can't compete. Then at a certain point, I was like, that's pretty sad. Like, I need to be training and then trust that, not the energy drink.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on it, ever.
Yeah, maybe I'll just...
Gaming
Okay.
culture is misogynistic.
Not gonna lie, I need a definition of that word.
What? You need a definition.
Yeah, what is misogynistic?
Thank you for 5
Anti what?
months of entertainment.
Oh, okay.
XQC, I'll see you later, alligator.
2, 1.
It sort of is.
Everyone has that experience when they're in a gaming lobby, and well, probably us females probably experience this more.
Imagine who
As soon as we
Megalolling
speak,
Benita
we get
chat.
called
That's
fat,
kinda weird.
we get
She's been
called all these
playing
ugly
professionally
names, and that is
since.
still something I deal with today, as I did 10, 15 years ago. It is definitely a terrible thing to experience.
I have a girlfriend that streams though, so I feel like I've gotten more open-minded about it and understanding, and I can definitely understand the obstacles like females have to go through. It's pretty tough from people just saying dumb shit or saying you're bad, saying you shouldn't compete. Or
Men sometimes hear those things too, but they don't hear it because they're men.
Right.
They hear it because of whatever.
Gamers
like,
rise
wants to
up.
hate on some random shit.
It's like we have to prove ourselves more.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big difference.
I'm a competitor. Like, I don't care about what my gender is, how much I weigh.
Okay, guys, this take is a 0.04 IQ take, okay? It doesn't matter what she cares about and what hurts her and what holds her back. We're talking about the culture here, dude. Please stop.
Any of that. Like,
Pepe
if I'm good
hands.
enough, then I'm good enough. Like, I just don't really believe in the...
I think it's more so them giving us a chance or seeing that we're actually good enough.
But I think the skill speaks for itself. No guy is saying, yeah, you cannot get on the computer because you're a woman. Like, no guy is saying, like, oh, you can't play online today because you're a woman.
I kind of disagree with that. And like, I do agree that the skill speaks for itself. While anyone can typically play any game they want and become good, the environment makes it so that it's much harder to succeed as a woman than
Guys, he's not wrong. That's actually true.
There's no doubt that the experience will be different.
Oh yeah, the experience is different, but I don't think gaming is anti-women.
I don't think it's anti-women, but I think there's just a lot more shit they have to deal with.
So like back then, arcades and the first like home consoles, girls in video games just weren't a thing. You know, it was like a boys-only club. Anytime a girl was like interested.
Guys, this is simple, okay? Guys, this is simple. Okay, listen. If you play, I'll give you a small example, okay, of what they mean by that, okay? Is that there's a difference, okay? If you're playing a game of like Overwatch, dude, and some dude is like playing any character on support, okay, you won't blink an eye, it's whatever, okay? If some girl, dude, okay, goes to Anna, okay, in the lower ranks, people are gonna be a bunch of cuddles and they'll be like, yo, dude, yes, yo, go on, what are you doing, Anna, dude? You need to aim, go Mercy, dude. Yo, what are you doing to play a character that requires skill? Go play Mercy, dude. Play Mercy, dude. Play me on Mercy, bitch. Like, it's just kind of what they do, man. And even if it's like 10%, it still creates a gap, dude. And that's what they mean by that.
Video games, guys would be like, oh.
It's not that the world is against them, but it's
play
that.
Or go back to the kitchen or something,
Go
you know.
make a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. And it was so dumb. And, you know, as years gone by, gaming culture has advanced, right? And it's become more accessible and diverse. Unfortunately, there's still, you know, some people out there that still treat it like it's the 90s.
Video games encourage violence.
Okay, dude.
3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know because there's proof.
Wow, I just want to like kind of.
There's proof.
The odd one out.
So the only reason I want to say a little bit here is because anyone remembers Columbine. Like, they were inspired by video games, but like, it's just all mental health at the end of the day.
I just think anyone who has those kinds of issues is going to find that inspiration from any kind of medium, including movies, including games, including books. I even think the dialogue where we act like that's probably kind of harmful for society in general.
I think it's definitely like using video games as like a scapegoat, in my opinion. Like, it's definitely more of a mental health issue.
For real, video games and violence, fake news, it's a myth. You know, there's even music, rock and roll, drugs, sex, and rock and roll.
Yeah,
and
they blamed
rap
rock once, and then they blamed rap, and then...
Exactly, man. Like.
Okay, chat, ready, chat? Chat, we'll go to, I'll take 10 seconds, ready? Okay, listen. When you want to prove a point about shit like I did, I feel like you need to take a bunch of things, okay, a bunch of instances of whatever, and make data and analytical shit, okay, and then you use those to prove your point, okay. Boom. Ooh, proven. Ooh, that's your point. It's proven. PogChamp, you know. Look, these things cause this because look, all these cases all line up, and these don't, and then you have data to prove your shit. The problem is that when you use one instance to prove one concept, it's flawed, right? Because there's one, it's stupid, right? There's only one instance, right? But on top of that, the simple action of reacting this way and making a big fuss because it could have caused it, will then later make people do things, right? To change things on purpose. They'll be like, oh, dude, I went there, I did this really bad action, or I killed somebody, right? Because I was fueled by this, and they weren't, right? And then everyone will overreact, and it will change the world and society did, just because they said that's what fueled them. That's a really big problem. That's a crazy problem. You have to not do that.
People are just always looking for someone to blame.
I think on the opposite side of that spectrum, video games could even be pointed to the thing where it could be used as an outlet for the people that have those kind of urges and thoughts. And
it's like an escape, right?
Exactly.
It's an escape for
exactly. It's a whole other world. But I think on the underlying issue of that, I think that really comes with like the parenting. I mean, if you're having those kind of thoughts in general, I mean, there's so many of us that play video games that don't have those kind of thoughts. How would it? It's like you said, it's just a scapegoat. It's annoying.
Competitive gaming is just as demanding as physical sport. 3, 2.
Oh, that's just not true though.
Go.
For traditional sports, you have to push your body to such lengths to be able to do those physical feats, to be the best, to be whatever. I just don't think that it's as hard.
I agree. I'm usually like sitting on my computer for almost 10 to 12 hours a day. Physically, I'm not doing anything near an NFL or NBA player is doing.
I don't play basketball, but I don't think that they're working on like frames per second kinds of levels of reaction and speed.
But then, you know, not all sports are as intensive as like football and like soccer.
Oh,
and,
he
you know,
moves.
We're probably all thinking basketball, football.
Yeah, because it's the mainstream stuff, you know. Because there's
I think
also
that's
like
what the question was, no?
yeah, there's also
No,
like
no, but there's also golf. There's also like
bowling, darts, you know. And I think gaming esports is like as demanding as those, if not beyond that.
Wait, what the fuck?
Gaming esports is like as demanding as those, if not beyond that.
Trash talk is part of the fun. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, of course. Yeah, dude.
It's hella fun. It's competition, you know. You're trying to get everyone riled
Tell
up.
'em.
You're trying to throw everyone off their game.
He's waiting for this one, yeah.
you spit some words.
You know, once people start taking like life problems and weight and try to like find stuff up on you, that's where it gets petty and it's childish. But trash talking is super fun. I do it a lot on stream, you know.
I love trash talking people. It's so fun. If you're doing it in good fun, then I think that trash talk is essential to any video game, honestly.
Okay, okay.
Even if
Chat, okay, chat, listen. Race and shit, dude, and sexual orientation is like, okay, dude, no, okay? But I think, as trash talking, dude, if you're putting weight into it, dude, listen, I'm not gonna back it up and say that it's okay, dude. I'm saying it's not really bad, dude. It's like, hey, come on, man, it's
Or
huge.
if they die,
Dude.
my go-to is you're trash. Like, that's probably my go-to.
I think I call people dog shit idiots a lot.
I say dog shit way too much.
I always call people virgins, but I always say like you're a fucking virgin, but I only say it on the mic because then you can you can understand my tone and it's not that serious. But I would never like type something like that.
Actually, I have a whole like diss
Okay.
track about me, like on YouTube. Yeah. And then my friend just wrote one back. So there's just like, and then everyone's hyped about it. Everyone just, yeah.
My family is skeptical of my career. 3, 2, 1.
Well, now not. Okay.
I'll start because I guess I'm a little older. Back then, it wasn't ever a career. Now it's so different. Like if I were to tell my parents like, yeah, hey, I have a 401k from gaming. Like I have health insurance.
I know what that is.
have
What's a
everything,
401k?
Just like a regular job with like a bachelor's degree or whatnot.
So I'm a little bit younger, and my parents were always super supportive. I quit football and sports when I was in like 7th grade, and I just really started gaming. Even after high school, my dad gave me a whole year to try to do something with it. Started making some money, and it just took off from there. So my parents were very like good about it, and it makes me feel like proud.
I mean, my parents did a very similar thing, and after I graduated high school, I asked for a chance. I was like, hey, could I have just a year? I want to really see if I can make this work. You know, I want to pursue my dreams, and I won the tournament that, you know, we both popped off in.
Yeah.
And if this was 3 years ago, I'd say I'd be over there saying that they'd be skeptical. They don't know, but my dad's always been supportive of me, and I'm thankful for that.
During high school, there wasn't really money in it yet, and my parents were just like,
Popped
that
off.
doesn't sound like a good
You
idea.
took the juice on, I did.
So then I got a regular career, and then when my friends started making money in video games, I was like, what the fuck am I still doing here? They saw how much happier I was doing this versus that, and they knew I was capable of that. Now they're like watching on stream together, like they're showing up to some live events here and there.
My mom is very supportive of what I do, but I was living with my grandparents for a while, and they actually kicked me out and were charging me rent because they didn't see live streaming or competing in video games as an actual job. So I moved back in with my mom, and I got to quit that job, and now I'm living my dream. So
I don't have much family. I just have my mom right now, and she's an immigrant and very old school, so you can imagine how she feels about it. She always said, you know, you're wasting your time. You know, I didn't work so hard to make a family here just so you can play video games. You should make something of yourself. But ultimately, in the end, you know, as long as I was happy with my life and I became successful in my own definition, then she was okay with it as well. But she still hates gaming.
Yeah. Where are your parents from?
My mother's from the Philippines, and my father's from India.
Okay. My parents are Hispanic. They definitely weren't.
What's
about
my
it
take?
Initially, too. They'll understand it when they see the money.
Yeah.
it sucks though. Like you have to make money for people to realize it's actually a career.
Yeah, you show them a paycheck. They're like,
that's not entirely true though. It's not every household and every parents that are gonna see money as like success in that fucking thing, dude. Like a bunch of it doesn't matter. A lot of parents, if they don't value the field, the whole thing that it's temporary or a gimmick, if they don't actually spend the time to learn it, dude, they're always gonna be skeptical. That's what skepticism is, dude. So even when you see things that are tangible, you still doubt it. And yeah, it's wrong, but they still do it. That's the whole point of skepticism. You fucking weirdos.
Oh yeah,
okay.
this is legit.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, my take is that my parents were skeptics, of course, did, right? And they didn't like it. They couldn't see it. And even though I would show them results and like, yo, dude, look, we're doing this. They were still skeptical, whatever, which didn't make sense to me, dude. It was like, yo, dude, look, it's doable. Look at this, look at that. Look at those results that we had with the team, and it didn't matter. I was like, yo, look, that's the end game. That's where I'm at. And that's a progress speed, I actually explain all of that, and that's what you should do with your parents if you ever do that, right? You show where you're going and examples of people that already have it, right? You show where you're at, how fast you got there, and where you're going next, and then they can see the path and they can sort of understand where it's going. And then they can get on with it. But a lot of times they'll still be skeptics because it's a field that wasn't there at the time. That's a problem.
From game. 3, 2.
I make a what? Make a good game.
From game. 3, 2, 1, go.
So it depends on what you guys define as good living. I live in Silicon Valley in the Bay Area. The highest cost of living ever. This competitive gaming career I have it's a side hustle.
Wait. Okay, this is right.
Any one of those by itself, I would not make it.
I used to live in a trailer with my dad in Ohio, so I understand the struggle. I used to sleep on the mattress, on a floor. Gaming, I started streaming. I started, getting a lot of attention in tournaments. I was making a lot of money there.
I think I know
now
yeah.
I live in a really nice part of California, rent-free with my girlfriend, and there's a lot of money to be made in gaming, whether it's streaming, YouTube, tournaments, sponsorships, the World Cup that was 30 million, there's just
ridiculous numbers.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm not on strongly agree is because it's so unreliable and inconsistent in my opinion, which is something you have to worry about. You don't know if you're even going to place top 8. Most of the time tournament payouts can take months.
I'd say I make a really good living. I think that Fortnite has given me a lot of opportunities. I mean, the viewership and the tournament prize winnings alone is ridiculous. I mean, I'm getting way too much money for just playing video games, to be honest.
I think it really depends on the game you're playing.
Yeah, I play Smash, and Nintendo does not give a shit about us.
That only makes sense for Fortnite.
I still make enough to, I have a
Guys,
car, I have
out of any game that is only relevant, what he said, for Fortnite, that's about it.
Roof over my head, I got 401k, I got, I'm fine, but I'm not making, fuck you money, you know what I mean? I'm not making, Fortnite money. And so for me personally, that's just the life of the game that I chose. If you're playing Fortnite, you picked the right one.
I'm sponsored. I have benefits. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I love what I do, and I not only win money from tournaments, but I'm also contracted. So.
I'd point out that maybe our definitions of good living are different. I mean, me and Aiden especially, I know that we come from not particularly the best living. I mean, I used to live in Louisiana back in middle of nowhere where nobody would even know where I am. My salary right now is way more than enough to make a good living off of it. But then again, it depends on the area you live in. If you're living over there, I mean...
Yeah, if I lived in Kansas, I'd be filthy rich. Filthy rich. I'd be making it rain.
I found deeper relationships through gaming than anywhere else. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'd say I've made some of my best friends ever. And even if the game is done, we've already built a bond past that, where now we're just friends. And none of all these connections and things that have gone on wouldn't exist anymore unless I played this game.
Back in high school, I was really nervous to talk to ladies, and I never had a girlfriend in high school. And then after high school, I met my girlfriend that I currently live with. So I think one thing too is people online are way more open than in person. You feel a lot more comfortable.
Never in my life would I think through just gaming. You could meet people that you can call your brothers and sisters for life. I have those. I would die for these people. We live around the country. I was like, do you guys want to go to Canada? They're like, sure. And we just had the time of our life. And I just met them online through gaming or at a tournament.
I agree with you guys. I mean, gaming has led me to a bunch of events like TwitchCon, all these things, even this, where I meet people, and that's built those relationships. And I think that gaming,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I've met everybody through that now that I'm thinking about it.
It's pretty cool. I hope so.
I think
you said maybe?
Nice
to meet you, man.
Are you going to DreamHack? Anaheim. We're all going to DreamHack.
We're all going to DreamHack.
What? All of us are Anaheim.
Wide hard chat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was alright. That was alright. Guys, some of the things you guys didn't agree with me did. You're weird, okay? Okay, I didn't say anything that was hard to agree with. Most of it was easy clap arguments. Good.
Why are they talking to two dishwashers?
Okay. Well.
Oh yeah, bro.